When we are truly searching for something special, we might fail 1,000 times to find it. It's like we are on a treasure hunt without a map. How many empty islands would it take for you to doubt your chances? How many times can you be wrong and still believe that you are right? How many betrayals does it take to give up on friendship? How many "you are not enough" can your ego swallow? How many times can you jump into embrace of maybe this is the one? Do you remember what Rocky said?
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
The first thing we have to cover, once and for all, is that life is not fair. Who said it would be? Well, not to the human eye at least. And how much do we really know? The second thing is to decide if you rather give up or keep going. Well, giving up is the easy way to certain failure. It's tempting to agree that you are not enough, that you can't give it, because you don't have it. It's tempting to believe that you did what you could, and now it's done. Much harder to keep believing in something no one else can see but you. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, I got a call for a job interview. If I only knew then how this would change the course of my life. It was a job on the company I already worked for, but a different position on a different location. It meant promotion and closer to home. My efforts and my work were appreciated, though I was planning for a long future there. The day of the interview, a day I will never forget. I went first to the wrong address and then arrived to the right one too late on a giant truck that was kind enough to offer me a ride. The interview itself was just as special as my entrance. Halfway in, the boss asked, "Are you loyal?" He caught me off guard. That was the only thing I knew for sure I was. But it was a question I had never been asked before, and a trait no one ever seemed to care about. I had been looking for something to be loyal to. I got the job. A month later, it started. I liked my colleagues, my new position, and my boss seemed to be the best. I went all in. I worked too much, I worked too hard, I put in a lot of 12-hour workdays, but did not seem to get any of my ideas taken seriously. Anytime I had an opinion, it was somehow turned against me. And there were some schoolyard intrigues I didn't really follow. But also, I tried too much. This was doomed to fail. I can see it now. Anyway, when I understood that I was getting nowhere, I quit. I did so with no plan for what to do next. There was, of course, a chain of events that led up to that point, so I was kind of frustrated. Maybe it's hard to imagine me getting heated, but I do have that 0 to 100 in 3 seconds temper. This time I had been patient for quite some time, so I had some stuff gathered up that I wanted to get off my chest. On the last meeting with my boss and the main witch, another manager, they wanted me to stay at least a couple more months. If I wanted to get good references, that just made everything boil over. What this meant was they could not give me credit for all the hard work I already put down if I did not stay as long as they needed it. I do not like being forced into things, so screw that. I went Charlie Sheen on their ass.
No.
Okay, I think I got it.
No.
Something like that. I left that place upset. But the battle was not over. In fact, it had just begun. Now everything would be determined by outcome. This is how I saw it in my head. I had to find an even better job, with no recommendations or references whatsoever. I wanted a job I'm not quite qualified for, and I wanted to own it. I wanted to show the company I had invested so much in that me leaving was a loss to them, not to me. When I say better job, I mean I was searching for something to go for, something special and unique. A place to grow with and stick with. I just had this gut feeling that there was a place that needed me just as much as I needed it. That needed all my skills and my character. A place that would push me to the next level. Something to be a part of. I have never been so dedicated to anything. All of my waking hours were spent on looking for a job. I did from 4 to 6 interviews per week. In a month, I had at least 5 job offers. People around me kept saying that I was being too picky and that I wanted too much and that I should get out of my bubble. Who knows? Maybe there was some truth to that. But for some reason, they just made me want it even more. I said no to some good offers that I got and just kept searching and praying. Yes, I wanted no help but the help from the universe, of course. After 2 months of searching, even my mother told me to take an offer because I was almost out of money and risking to lose my home if an income would not occur in the next 2 or 3 months at max. No one really believed in my plan or shared my faith in what I was searching for. I didn't blame them. The last couple of weeks did get a little discouraging. It felt like the jobs I was finding were just getting worse, not better. And they all started saying no. That made me doubt the reasoning behind my choices and my actions. I was on the edge of just giving up the search for the dream job to take one of the worst offers I have gotten. And then, in the middle of a sleepless night, I stumbled across a job ad that caught my attention right on. It was a company I had heard about before. It was a strong brand with an old history, and the position seemed to be just right. The ad resonated with all that I was looking for. It had that something, a feeling that the others lacked. Maybe was it the sincere emphasis on values? They were also looking for the right person to complete the team. I felt that I matched all the qualifications, or most of them. They did want someone more experienced in that field, but hey, I knew I had the dedication to make up for the lacking years of experience. So I sent my application that night. In the morning, while I was making my coffee, I get a call. It's the talent specialist from the company calling for a first impression. I enjoyed the short conversation with him. It feels like he's trying to hear who I am, who I really am. You have to meet me. I think I'm right for this, I tell him. The next day, I go to meet the boss for an interview. Another day I will never forget. As soon as I enter the building, an inner voice says, "This is it." What I see is spacious, well-designed, and beautiful place. Behind the reception, there is a guy standing with strong resemblance to Ragnar Lothbrok, my absolute favorite movie character. Without even looking, he was observing my reaction. I knew this was the guy I've spoken to on the phone. I knew this was my kind of place and my kind of people before we even said hello. The interview went smoothly. We clicked, you know? It was a team of 8 guys, and I would be the only girl on the team if I got the job. Every single one of them was a real personality. Half of them old and the rest of them just adults. After a total of 3 months of search, finally, I felt it. This was the job I wanted. I wanted nothing else. This was the answer to my prayers. This was my vortex manifesting. Everything had just the cleanest flow, like when you're exactly where you're supposed to be. I was honest about everything. I told him about the way things ended on the last place I worked for and what I really was looking for and why I've been so picky. This was never spoken of this clearly in any of my other interviews. But this time I got it right. "You have to hire me," I said. Yes," he answered through that shy smile of his. Everything was not that simple though. It was not enough for the boss of the team to accept me. I had to go through another interview with the talent specialist and do some tests. The process took around 3 weeks, and it was nerve-wracking, painfully slow time. Meanwhile, I got another offer, which I rejected. The search was off. I was just waiting for an answer that seemed to take forever. I had no plan B. After 3 weeks had passed, it was time to meet the boss again. Can't believe that I was late for the only thing I had been waiting for in weeks. Anyways, I got the job. With no recommendations or references whatsoever, I got it. The one. I got the job. This time, I got to meet the whole team. I felt like Snow White meeting the dwarves. It was magical. Except I was definitely the dwarf, the smallest team member by far. Moral of this story: you have to keep trying to the very last possible point if you have a vision. Sometimes you just have to believe something even if it's silly to others. And sometimes, against all odds, it gets you results no one could ever imagine. My goal was from the beginning to find a place where the work I do felt worth it. To prove myself and to the company I previously worked for that I could do better. Yes, to rub it in their nose. But once I found the gem I was looking for, I did no longer care what my previous bosses knew or thought. I kept this to myself. I announced to no one outside my closest circle. The rest could think I'm cleaning toilets for all I care. Reaching a goal and pushing yourself to that limit, it changes you. It changes what you value from that point on. And the way you see things. To finally get what you really wanted always feels slightly different from the way you imagined. It does something to the depth of your perception. Sometimes you just have to be crazy, I guess. Bye.
No. Okay, I think I got it. No.